So, you live in or around Willoughby, Ohio, and you're ready to find a great dog trainer. You know, it's a pretty big decision. Well, we're going to break down everything you need to know to make a really confident choice.
Just picture it, a really calm, relaxing walk down Erie Street, or maybe a fun visit to the metro parks where your dog is just a joy to be around. That's the goal, right? Having the right training partner is what gets you there. All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll get into the key training methods and what all those credentials mean. Then we'll talk about picking the right program for you. After that, we'll look at typical cost here in Willoughby, give you a handy checklist for when you're hiring, and finish up with some local rules and resources. Okay, let's start at the beginning with the absolute foundations. Before you even start searching for a trainer, it really helps to understand the basic ideas behind good, modern dog training.
So, the main concept you're going to hear about over and over again is positive reinforcement. And for good reason. It's really the standard for modern training. Basically, it means instead of punishing bad behavior, you're rewarding the good stuff you want to see more of. It just works, and it does wonders for building a really strong, trusting bond with your dog.
You're probably going to see a bunch of letters after trainers' names, and it can look like alphabet soup. But let's quickly decode them. These show that a trainer has actually invested in their education and passed some tough exams. A CPD TKA, for example, proves they know their stuff. And something like a CDBC, well, that's a specialist you'd look for if you're dealing with bigger issues like serious fear or reactivity.
Okay, now that you've got that background, let's figure out what kind of program is the right fit. Honestly, the best format really depends on your dog and what you're trying to achieve.
So these are the two options you'll see most often. Group classes? They're fantastic for general manners and for learning to focus when other dogs are around, which is a huge skill for, a walk in the park. Private lessons, on the other hand, are perfect for things that happen at home, like jumping on people or surfing the counters, because you get that totally customized one-on-one help. Now, beyond those two, there are some other formats. A board and train is like a deep dive immersive boot camp for your dog. Day training is a great option if your schedule is packed. And of course, you'll find specialized classes just for puppies or for dogs that need more specific help with things like anxiety. Now for the topic that's probably on your mind, money. Let's talk about what to expect cost-wise, because knowing the local market is a huge part of planning this out. So what are we talking about, really? What does it actually cost to hire a professional trainer here in Willoughby or in the wider Lake County area? Let's take a look. Here's a look at the typical ranges for 2026. As you can see, a 6-week group class is usually the most affordable way to go. Private lessons are priced per hour, but buying a package of them can often save you some money. And those more intensive options like a board and train, well, the price reflects that 24/7 care and focused work. Just remember, these are averages. A trainer's experience will definitely play a role in their rates. All right, you've got the background, you know the options, you have an idea of the cost. Now it's time to actually do something. This next part is your toolkit for interviewing trainers so you can find that perfect fit.
You'll want to have these questions ready. Definitely ask about their philosophy. You're listening for positive reinforcement. Ask about their education and what they do to stay up to date. It's also smart to ask how they track progress. And, this is a big one, find out if they're willing to team up with your vet, which is especially helpful for issues that might have a medical side, like anxiety. Seriously, don't be afraid to ask these things point blank.
Okay, let's bring this all back home. How does all this training apply to just living your life with your dog in our community? Well, being a great owner means knowing the local rules. Here is a key local rule that's good for every Willoughby dog owner to know. The city requires your leash to be no longer than 8 feet when you're off your property. It's all about safety and having good control. And honestly, that loose leash walking skill you'll work on in training makes following this rule a piece of cake. And just a few other quick things to keep on your radar. Your dog license actually comes from Lake County, not the city of Willoughby. The rabies vaccine, that's a state law for all dogs. And good training can directly help you stay on the good side of your neighbors by preventing things like nuisance barking complaints. See, it all ties together. So, once you start learning these new skills, where can you go to practice? We have some amazing local spots. The Willoughby Dog Park is the perfect, safe place to work on getting your dog to come when called. Daniels Park is great for practicing those leash skills. And if you want to change a pace, the trails at the Metro Parks or even Headlands Beach offer all sorts of new challenges to work through together. I love this piece of advice, and it's so important for anyone who's just adopted a dog. The 3-3-3 rule is just a beautiful reminder to be patient. It really takes time for a dog to adjust and feel safe. A good trainer will totally get this and build a plan that respects that settling in period. It's all about having realistic expectations.
Because at the end of the day, finding the right trainer is about so much more than just sit or stay. It's about building a way to communicate, creating a real partnership so you can enjoy everything our awesome community has to offer, from a lazy afternoon at home to a busy day out and about. Good luck with everything. You're going to do great.